Hi Helen, can you give us a brief overview of your role as Product Implementation Manager at Denplan, please?
Hey Matt, my role as Product Implementation Manager is about really understanding what dental practices need and turning that into products and services that genuinely support them day to day in practice. I absolutely love talking to practices and not just listening, but really understanding the challenges that they're facing day to day and what's driving those challenges so that we can create solutions that help solve them. Some of the product managers within Denplan focus on evolving our existing products, so making them better, making them easier to use, whereas my role is much more about kind of spotting opportunities where we can solve things for day-to-day practice life and really focusing on what can we create next and what might also be things that we're doing at the moment that we should stop doing because they're not really working for practices. A really good example of that is when practices told us that patients were coming in for consultations, but they weren't always returning to have the treatment. And in most cases, it was really important that they returned to have that really critical treatment. So we really delved into that with patients. And sometimes it was due to nerves, that they were just too nervous to go ahead with the treatment. Sometimes it was to do with cost. So by digging really deeper into that problem, we created a solution whereby it was a journey that they could go through, a digital journey that would help explain the treatment that they were going to have, that would help alleviate the nerves, but also give them options to spread the cost for that payment. So ultimately giving them more options to take up that treatment and get the care that they needed.
How does product strategy help support our dental practices and their patients?
Product strategy is about making sure that everything we do delivers value to practices. It's about understanding what's really going on, not just in those conversations, it's sometimes hidden in data, but building solutions that genuinely help solve problems in practice. I'll be honest, I ask why a lot, but that curiosity is really where we get the true insight and help solve problems for practices. A big part of this is also recognising that payment plans aren't enough, that we've also got to create great tools around those payment plans to support practices in being able to talk to patients about them and tools to give them real confidence to be able to use those solutions in practice.
How does the proposition work you're focusing on help support existing and future patients?
We know that not all patients and practices want the same thing, so where we're really focused is on flexibility to make sure that we've got products and services that are relevant to everyone. For existing customers, that means enhancing what we do already, such as adding additional ways to pay for treatment. For new practices, it's about making sure that our solutions are really simple and easy to adopt. Some of the best insight comes from really honest conversations with practices when they're really open about what isn't working for them in practice and what they're struggling with. That's what allows us to create propositions that don't just sound good, but they work in real life.
How do you work with practices to make sure that Denplan products still meet their needs?
I spend a lot of time with practices, which I really enjoy. It's those individual conversations that allow us to go really kind of beyond the surface feedback and understand the real challenges. For example, offering access to financing came from understanding why patients weren't returning to practice after consultations to go ahead with treatment. I'm often looking for the underlying message. My husband jokes that I'm telepathic, but it's those small signals underneath the data and feedback that help us piece it together for the bigger picture. The real issue is often hiding under the data, so it's about digging deeper and asking the right questions. I also love working with the rest of the product team. Many of us have worked in practice support roles, which means we really understand the realities of what practices are facing day to day, and that makes a huge difference.
What areas of product strategy should practices expect us to focus on?
Going forward, we'll stay focused on flexibility so that we have solutions and products that suit the needs of all practices and patients. That means evolving payment plans and financing, but also evolving the solutions around them. We'll also keep challenging ourselves, continuing what works, improving what doesn't, and stopping anything that's no longer adding value for practices. Ultimately, it's about staying close to practices and turning their challenges into solutions to help them succeed.